Good day, sir!
Hello, 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 Dota people. Thank you all very much for tuning in. My name is Epi. We are doing the defense today, where uebelst is going to go up against 4FC, two relatively unknown teams for this competition, but I hope we'll still get ourselves a really good game. And with me, this time I won't be alone like yesterday. With me will be Durka. And yeah, the players are ready. I'll jump us into the game, and I will welcome Durka to the show as well. Hi, man.
Hi there, yeah. Two up-and-coming teams. I mean, uebelst obviously has some high-profile players that have been in and out of the professional scene, but 4FC, I have almost no idea who they are. I've seen their name a couple of times, but I haven't actually watched them play.
Yeah, actually I haven't seen either of these teams play, but now that I see the player names on here, Alex Leaf, RMN, also known as Roman. Let me quickly switch this overlay here around. Okay, and I'm very pumped to see these Germans perform. I would love to have a good German team up in the scene. And they will go up against 4FC, and we're now starting the draft. Dyer has the first pick, and thus the first ban. They get rid of, up to now, we have some very standard stuff.
Yeah, and how's my pronunciation of the German team? I mean, it's got to be pretty bad hearing it from an English voice.
Can you try again?
No, I'd rather not.
Okay, uebelst.
Uebelst.
Yeah, that was good actually. And that UE at the beginning is actually that letter U with two dots over the top. Yeah, means something like totally. But nothing says nothing means uebelst more than uebelst. And yeah, we were just discussing words that are only present in a certain language and only make sense in that language. And yeah, I guess every language has that. So Alex, Leaf, Roman, Paz, and Chill will go up against Fabio, Bombski, Alex. Oh, damn, we will have two Alexes on this team. Krilly and Ares Loco. So interesting, but we will not worry about the names too much. We will worry about the gameplay and how these teams will perform. And we are still in what looks to be a very standard drafting phase. Still in the first ban phase, Lycan is gone, Brute is gone, Darkseer is gone, and Nature's Prophet is gone, and now the last ban for 4FC will be that Leshrac. Let's see what the Germans get rid of now, and I would like to see some very interesting stuff. Back in the day, before uebelst became uebelst, and they were known as teams such as Panzer, also a German word to actually pronounce Panzer. They were using some very, very good strats. They were one of the very first teams, actually, that utilized the Dragon Knight in Dota 2. I just remember him because it was either Roman or Kuroki that was playing them in the solo mid, and that was just something very, very new to at least the Dota 2 metagame back in the day. And now for the first time hitting reserve time, just for 2 seconds though, before Alex decides to get rid of that Chen. So first pick material still left in the pool now would be... What do we have here? We still have Brewmaster, we still have the Lone Druid.
Windrunner, Invoker, Chaos Knight.
Chaos Knight, yes, man, I forgot about that one. And Chaos Knight, just such a hero, he's usually always banned out, so very interesting.
Well, I was going to say beat him as Enigma, which I've been, like, he's one of my favourite heroes in the current game. He's picked so often simply because he can do so many things, and Shadow Demon a great setup support there. And obviously Invoker, that great utility hero, also can do so many things with his skill set. But the bans that they obviously banned out, very standard. I'm not sure how many times these teams have come up against each other, so I don't know if they've got dedicated heroes which they know each other plays. So if they do so-called respect bans, that Chen, obviously, they're fearing the diving behind towers with creeps and then turning that into a push. But these hero picks so far, very standard.
Absolutely, and I guess Chaos Knight is just seen so rarely in competitive play lately that when I don't see him banned, I don't immediately notice that he hasn't been banned, if that makes sense. But I guess he's been picked now in combination with that Shadow Demon, so we will again have that Disruption, and Disruption as a skill itself has just shown how much that is worth in the way Dota is played and what it actually means to have the ability to take any one hero out of the game for 2.5 seconds. And now we'll have Chen's counterpart, if you will, Enchantress, picked up as a third pick for 4FC, so they have a very solid looking lineup up to now. They will have that Chaos Knight, a good base HP, good strength gain, high base movement speed, very good damage as well. Just overall a great hero with that stun, with that blink strike type ability. Shadow Demon, all around great hero, and Enchantress, that jungler. And actually Alex picked up Enigma as well as Invoker, as we just mentioned. Invoker has been a hero that I've started to kind of doubt a little bit. Just like, he is a very powerful and versatile hero, but I still think that Quaz Wex is like a very, very good build on him. I'm lately that whole Exort build hasn't been effective at all, at least in the games that I've seen.
100% agree with you, and people like Cinderin and KYXY from Orange showed that today, actually. That Quas Wex Invoker, rather than the Exort, is still a very powerful choice.
Awesome! Cool. Yeah, I didn't manage to watch the Orange games, but Durka just casted a bunch of that was the Join Dota Masters, actually, together with Toby, so you can check those out at joindota.com as well. Some really good games, at least from what I've heard. But yes, this here is the defense, of course, and last pick in the first pick phase from Alex was that Windrunner, and we're now in the second band phase, and 4FC now realizing that the Germans will have to get their hands on something that has good carry potential. So they get rid of that anti-mage, and in turn Alex gets rid of Lone Druid.
Yeah, that Lone Druid ban, I think they're looking to ban off the solo hard lane hero for this 4FC side, because looking at their current lineup, the most likely thing they're going to do is throw the Enchantress into their own forest and have Shadow Demon and Chaos Knight up on the top lane, so that you can have, let's call it a tri-lane, but the jungler there, Enchantress, will be just jumping in and out, and she'll be collecting gold and experience of her own accord. So if they start banning out Lone Druid, Beastmaster, I'm assuming Beastmaster will be the next ban to come out here, simply to limit the options that 4FC have. Oh, Queen of Pain, okay, well they're banning out solo mid and a side lane hero there, because they need a solo mid obviously for 4FC.
Yeah, I guess, and I think maybe it's also, I guess Chaos Knight could also go into the mid with the support of Shadow Demon. That's also quite possible. And yeah, now we're in the second pick phase, and it is actually 4FC's turn. And as you pointed out, they would need at least a hero for that long lane. So Darkseer is banned out. They might have actually wanted to have that hero. Just in general, I guess that's a hero that every team would like to pick up. Very powerful turtle hero, and very hard to kill toward the later stages of the game, because he just tanks up in terms of his item progression. And going into his reserve time now is Fabio, taking his time, thinking through different scenarios, and pick up his Shadow Shaman.
Well, see, this is where the sort of experience of these teams comes in handy, because I don't know the players of this team. Perhaps they have a very strong Shadow Shaman solo mid player, because looking at their current lineup, that's the most likely situation for him to be thrown into. I mean, you could put him solo top, but he does like to be, rushing to those runes, grabbing them, using his ultimate whenever he can, and from that mid lane, gives him the perfect opportunity to run top, run bottom, gank, and throw his wards down to push towers.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman hasn't seen that much play lately. It has been Absolute Legends, and especially Musica, who have a few months ago started to really use that here to its fullest effect. Lately though, Absolute Legends have been quite in the slump, but that Shadow Shaman can be something very powerful. Just a really strong initiative hero with that blink if once he gets that one up, and usually just a BKB, so you can have that shackle just channeling through, and just use him in general for those wards as well as that that hex afterwards. I know Vengeful Spirit picked up from uebelst. I guess. How would they lane this now?
Well,
okay, I guess.
Windrunner solo top, Invoker mid, Enigma forest, and then Venge with somebody bottom lane possibly.
Yeah.
sure.
Thought so too. Either that or Venge. Yeah, Venge will definitely be on either support duty either way, but maybe hang out on lane to make sure that whoever... it is relatively clear that the last pickup from the Germans will be something very big, like... hmm?
Kuni is asking if you could use the in-game microphone, because there are people watching on Dota TV apparently who would like to hear your voice.
Okay, sure, I'll try to set that one up. I haven't tested it though, so...
Oh, and there's a Storm Spirit. Okay. Hi. Like, they're laning. Well, my ideas of their laning has gone all out the window now.
Okay. Hey guys, can you hear me now? I hope so. I haven't tested the in-game sound up to now, but there you go. I'm trying it out. I hope you can understand me fine. Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry that I didn't pay attention in doing this, but I guess this is the first time that the defense... I guess the defense is the first tournament that is really enabling this whole in-game thing. My Storm Spirit picture is gray. Is it gray on your stream as well, or your picture?
It's fine for me.
Okay, then I guess it's just because I kind of opened up these settings here. Okay, last pick now for uebelst Gaming, and it just has to be... oh, actually Mirana, she does have some good carry potential. If you get her some good farm, she does deal a bunch of damage. I will have to switch the overlay back now. Thank you all very much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it.
Also wonder if I'm able to be heard through you into your game.
I don't think you are, man.
I don't think so. So it's going to sound like you're talking to yourself half the time.
Yeah. People joining in through Dota TV, I will have to get some settings done. We'll have to consult someone from Join Dota maybe to help me out with that, but you will not be able to hear my co-caster, unfortunately. I'm also streaming this, but with a 2-minute delay, so I'm really sorry about that.
The Dota TV already has the 2-minute delay, so there should be no...
Okay. Alright, then you can maybe use the stream center if you want to hear Durka, but half the time he just speaks irrelevant things anyway, so you don't have to hear him. Okay, let me just quickly check my overlay one more time, just to be sure. This looks to be good. Alright, we are all set to start this game of the defense 4FC going up against the Germans. It appears that no aggressive movement coming out from the Dire side at the moment. It will be Alex playing Vengeful Spirit, Pass on Windrunner, RMN on Invoker, Chill on Enigma, and Leaf on Mirana. So we know that this German squad will be able to put up a very, very good show, but 4FC, I haven't seen them play just yet, and I will also go over the Dire side quickly, because then the Dota TV people can hear me as well. Bombski will be playing Enchantress. I don't even know how to pronounce that guy. Trilly? I'll just call him Trilly on Chaos Knight, unless Dirk has a better suggestion there.
It's Swedish, man. I don't know. I'd go with your gut instinct, which was Krilly.
Alright, Krilly. Yeah, it is Swedish, I guess. Ares Loco on Shadow Demon. All these three heroes that I just mentioned will be toward the bottom lane. The Germans are now splitting up onto their own lanes because they realize that they will not find anyone out there in their own jungle. And Fabio will be playing that Shadow Shaman toward the middle lane, and Alex, the Alex from the Swedish boys, will be playing Storm Spirit on the top lane. Okay, now the 4FC boys are kind of setting up camp here in the enemy jungle, placing a nice ward. This one gives vision of the rune spot as well. So they will find Leaf. Skills leap though immediately, so saving up that one skill point for situations like these. Eats a lot of damage though, just from like one hit. And here we go, Leaf on the bottom lane, supported by Vengeful Spirit as we anticipated. Enigma in toward their jungle, already having a hard time because they appear to have a very aggressively laning or jungling Enchantress. And in the middle lane, of course, Invoker. He did skill Exort first, and on the top we'll have Pass on that Windrunner.
Yeah, Enigma being forced over to this big camp here and losing all of his Eidolons to this Dark Troll Warlord. So that's a little waste of mana there. Takes out the two smaller trolls.
At the moment, Enchantress pick working out nicely because she blocked the creep camp with a ward and also stole away that big centaur. So no more pulling for the Germans until they decide to actually de-ward this.
Yeah, the aggressive Enchantress really working well for them. Looking like they're going to dive this tower very shortly, wait for that creep wave to come past.
Yeah. They will have to wait for a little while though. They might just rotate around. Yes, there's a second wave from the Radiant now moving in. Here comes the disruption though. She does have a leap, so there you go.
A little bit of hesitation there from that Centaur. If he just let it stun, I reckon that would have landed right on top of that Mirana. But he cancelled and then recast again a split second later.
Interesting point you just made, man, because that leads me to a point where actually Loda, when I interviewed him for Joint Dota, he was talking about the concept of the need to believe in yourself and just believe in yourself when you play, believe in your skill. And if you do so, and you do so genuinely, then many things will go right that will not if you don't. And I guess that stun is just one of these things. And now we'll have Enigma here in trouble at the bottom lane. 2 creeps from Enchantress. 10 more seconds until she has a slow, though, so she does stop the chase, but he loses a good chunk of his HP and defends the bottom rune, the regen rune for Rasta, who's going to bottle that one up because he already has that bottle farmed up after 2 minutes 25 seconds.
Yeah, if that Centaur had one stun, that Enigma would be the first blood.
Yeah, and dewarding done by Vengeful Spirit now, reclaiming that one creep spot. Now getting caught out here. Where's the disruption? Is it going to come? Very nice. Now will the initiation come? Arrow though, misses, only hits on that tiger there is what I want to say. Disruption goes out on Vengeful Spirit, eating a lot of damage. She will most definitely go down though. Sunstrike also comes in. Very nice Starfall. Leaf is just on the chase here, 90, 40 HP on one more hit and he's going to go down. There we go. Double kill now on Shadow Demon. So the first 2 kills of the game go to the Swedish boys and Shadow Demon just heals up like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that pack leader aura giving 30% bonus damage to the Enchantress and Shadow Demon, giving the little boost they needed to take out those 2 kills. Without it, it would have been hard done for them to get that right-click damage off.
Absolutely.
The Venge has actually counter-warded this cap. Yeah, the sentry ward just above it, so he's able to pull it and hopefully regain control of this lane.
Now a single pull happening as well, but these guys just relentlessly making this bottom life a living hell for those guys on the Radiant side. Also just losing 2 heroes. Shadow Shaman now loses his regeneration rune. Let's see how his middle lane is actually going against RMN. 17 for 10 on Invoker. 8 for 5 on Shadow Shaman, so at least something going the way of the Germans. The gold advantage is in the favor of the Dire, though only at 500 gold though, so that's alright. Pass. 20 last hits for 4 denies and 21 for 1 on Storm Spirit. So a really interesting lane on top as well. Enigma now moving in with a big wave of Eidolons. Is gonna expire now though. Body block of this camp here, nicely done from Shadow Demon. Enchantress also in the vicinity just to make sure that nothing's gonna happen. Are they gonna deny this creep here? No, actually this heat creep gets the last hit here, and now Shadow Demon gets caught out. He will have to disrupt himself, gets chain stunned though, very nice. He does get the disruption out, so they will have to find the right one when he comes back out, and Leaf does.
Yeah, the top lane, as you rightly said, very interesting lane up here. Storm against Windrunner. It's going to come down to who plays the
Shadow
best
Shaman
base.
coming in with a haste rune. Sorry, my man. Chill now. Yeah, Leaf is actually the one that will get disabled. Stun on Alex, though he eats so much damage. Those 3 heroes auto-attacking will get the kill. Immediate switch over to Enigma. He will also drop 2 kills now for the Swedish boys. And Leaf there trying to get at least a little bit of work done. Sunstrike gets the hit perfectly done. Nice work. Actually, who got the last hit here? I didn't. Oh, it didn't.
It was the Invoker.
Okay.
But who's got the urn up already? Is that Chaos Knight with urn? Yeah.
Yes. Quickly check the top lane as well. So very nice Sunstrike. That is showing that, of course, I mean, I didn't say that Exhort build is not viable. I'm just saying that lately it hasn't made the impression that it is working better than the Quaz Wex, but I guess both have their pros and cons, and only because Invoker went for that Exhort build was he able to even get that kill. So good choice from Invoker. Their pick and strategy working out fine this far, and yeah, even though those are 2 lesser known teams, 2 to 4 this kill score up to now, and it's looking very, very interesting. They are definitely playing like experienced teams, and as I say that, Shadow Shaman drops in the middle lane. Let's check this out. Mostly, yes, it was a cold snap combination used by RMN on the Invoker, and basically mostly likely just auto-attacked him down.
Well, I was just about to say, like you were saying, it is a good choice to go Quas Exhort in this case because he needs to get those global Sunstrikes. But also up against a Shadow Shaman. He's going to be obviously outlaning him with his attack damage. He is mass denies. He's got loads of last hits. He's got his phase boots up already, and that cold snap into Sunstrike and a couple of right clicks that just took the Shadow Shaman right down.
Okay, let's quickly do a check before. Actually, no, top lane, we got something happening. Pass on that Windrunner. He has those phase boots, uses them in the most inconvenient time ever. He's just waiting. Now comes the pull as well, and this is one dead Windrunner. He will not be able to get out of there. The nuke actually from Shadow Shaman gets that last hit. So a nice gank from the Swedish boys on the top lane. Bottom forest, bottom woods rather. We have some convergence of heroes as well. We have Vengeful Spirit here hanging around. Gets disrupted. Arrow from Leaf in defense. Where is it? Not coming just yet. Soul Catcher also up on Alex. He's trying to get out, eating a lot of damage though. We'll see what's going to happen. They have vision.
If they release it, he'll die. Do it. No, the Soul Catcher wore off.
Yeah, he didn't release. Don't understand why. 4 stacks up on him now, and oh, he still goes down. Nice work, Shadow Demon, but also not nice work because you didn't release as Durka told you.
Durka has spoken.
Again, guys, all you guys listening in from in-game, I really appreciate it, and I will make sure that you can hear my co-caster next time as well. I'm very sorry about that. I will get informed about what I have to do, and thank you all very much for actually supporting the community, supporting Valve's project, because they did great work and they deserve to get a little bit of compensation. As we see here, Leaf on that Potom gets a nice kill on Shadow Demon. The Sunstrike is not quite needed, but he was dead either way. Chill, though, on that Enigma goes down to a very big, lucky stun with max damage from that Chaos Knight. And Leaf looks to be in a little bit of trouble as well. Earn on him as well. He tries to heal through it, but he's getting dived. Heal up from Enchantress as well. Eats that nuke from Leaf, and down goes Enchantress with that tower hit. And yeah, Chaos Knight's also going to drop. Very nice fight put up by Leaf in a very dire situation here.
Yeah, just showing what you can do with limited health, limited mana, and just the right click of your hero. Quite often people don't realise that, or they don't calculate that their hero can do huge amounts of damage in team fights, even though you don't actually
Top
have anything
lane.
to give.
Absolutely. Windrunner is waiting with that wind run. The disruption was out though before she used that wind run, so that might save her life, but I think she will drop to that poison jump also out from Storm Spirit, so she didn't survive. But usually what that Shadow Demon should have done, he was maybe a little bit impatient. I guess the hero was dead either way, but if you just want to maximize your efficiency in that gank, he waited for that pull disable from Storm Spirit to wear off, and then wanted to wait for a little while until Windrunner uses that wind run so that he can use his disruption in turn. But he just used it like that. It still worked out. 4-second stun on Enigma, spells his death, unlucky for him, and he will drop to the auto attack of 2 heroes. Sunstrike from Invoker, just to give himself like maybe a psychological advantage. Now Cold Snap up on Chaos Knight, he's gonna drop, taking so much damage. 3 heroes here from the Germans, taking on an Enchantress now. She's most likely also gonna drop. 2 more hits, 1 more hit. Heal, too strong. She actually survives this. No, she goes on to 1 last hit. Wards drop now from Shadow Shaman, makes the Vengeful Spirit drop, and the Germans have to get away from those wards. And Shadow Shaman does the wise thing in staying close to those protective wards.
Yeah, now you see the huge power of having an Exort Invoker. So you've got level 5 now, Exort.
Arrow flies out. Nice Cold Snap, keeping him in place, and oh man, really nicely done. Good work so far from uebelst, the German guys on the Radiant side, but also a very nice fight put up from the Swedish boys, 4FC, both of them now competing in the defense, trying to work their way to the top, and both of them showing that they have achieved a very professional level of play. So up to now I can't really see any huge mistakes. Nice aggressive laning from 4FC, very like a ballsy strat, putting that Enchantress in the offensive jungle. Worked out well for them in the early phases of the game.
Oh, mid lane.
Mid lane. Just caught the very end of that. Stormspear got a kill on solo kill on Invoker. So there we go, 12-9 now actually for 4FC. And in the enemy forest now, Enigma found himself Rasta, Shadow Shaman. Arrow flies past, and a black hole on 2 heroes, very nicely timed. Nice work from Chill on that Enigma, and the Starfall is going to nuke them both down very low. Double kill now on Leaf on that Mirana, and she's getting a bunch of gold through these kills. She will get some good damage up later. Here's Storm Spirit going to run right past Enigma, and Enchantress actually got a kill on Mirana. Missed that, sorry guys. Pull up now on Enigma. He tries to stun him, but he dodges actually with that jump. Now he gets stunned. Oh, good play from Storm Spirit all around now. D-wards immediately afterwards. And top lane pass now getting stunned from that Chaos Knight. Sunstrike also flying in. Nice hit on him as well. Turns that fight around, and down goes actually Chaos Knight, and Windrunner survives.
Yeah, Invoker could have picked his 4 staff up before he died. In fact, he had around 2,300 gold. But he died to that Storm Spirit ganking him. Storm Spirit picking up a bunch of gold. Was it 300-400? It's disappeared already.
Now wards dropping in the middle lane from Shadow Shaman. TP coming in as well. Arrow gonna miss. Let's see if they can get the deny. Arrow flew out just a little bit too slow though. And now Rasta maybe a little bit out of position. Here's Storm Spirit, here's Shadow Demon. Nice disruptive defensive disruption. Ultimate out on Leaf as well. He's most certainly gonna drop. Roman also in a lot of trouble. He will have to run out. Turns out to use Sunstrike though, and man, that hero was already dead, that Enchantress, but he could have gotten that Rasta as well, but just didn't work out. 1-point exchange thus far. Maleficent up on Chaos Knight, gets stunned twice, I think.
If Storm had jumped forward instead of jumping back, he very likely would have picked up a double kill there and taken out that Invoker again.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Soul Ring up on Enigma. Just boots on Vengeful Spirit on top of that wand. Force Staff and Phase Boots on Invoker. Chill on Enigma. Yeah, I just covered him. He has that Soul Ring. And 1.5k on top of those treads and the bottle on Storm Spirit. And now Rasta, Shadow Shaman, gets stunned. Here comes the Sunstrike. Oh, eats away so much from his health. Chain Stun coming out of Vengeful Spirit, and the auto attack from Enigma gets the last hit. So very nicely done this far. Actually, Roman on the Invoker has been playing a pretty nice game up to now. And all around good game. It's relatively even up to now, 14 to 15. The gold is barely any difference now. It's been spiking up and down in each team's favor. And Durka, who would you say has the upper hand at the moment?
With the amount of farm and levels up on this Invoker, level 10 now.
Leaf is most definitely going to drop. He throws out his nuke, but he will definitely go down. Tries to throw out all his skills before he does so. And making the score 60-4. Top lane now being pressured by the German boys though. TP coming from Rasta. Ultimate up in 2 seconds, so if he drops those, he will most certainly be able to defend this. We'll see what the Swedish boys are going to do. Black Hole still down. Sorry? Ward Trap on that Enigma. And Rasta's going to drop though. Enigma goes down, Rasta drops. We'll see if uebelst are going to back out. They do for the moment. Don't want to take on those wards at the moment. Enchantress as well as Storm Spirit are also there on the top lane. Paz on the Windrunner is going to go for that quick mech. Bottom lane now being pressured. Double support TP coming in. Leaf throws out the short range arrow. Going to be at least like only 1 second stun. Starfall also hits, bringing Chaos Knight down to very low HP, and the Cold Snap steals the deal. Invoker gets the kill on Chaos Knight, and it might, yeah, Shadow Demon is out of harm's way by now. Now the top being pressured in turn by the Dire side. Heal pop now by the 4FC boys. Auto attacks flying out. My phone is ringing actually. Slow out now on Alex on the Vengeful Spirit and his Chain Stun. Alex is actually going to drop now, but support TP coming in. Maleficent up on 4FC. Alex and a Black Hole use, very nicely done. That drops the Storm Spirit. Past has also been here, and Enchantress is on the run. She will find herself a very convenient haste rune, making her escape a sure thing. Why is she hesitating here now? Haste rune gets destroyed. Yeah, I guess she pays the price for that hesitation now. Sorry about that, guys. Actually, my phone was just ringing. But my girlfriend picked that one up. Danke. Wer was? Okay, sorry guys, sorry. Okay, so with the amount of farm, you said that Invoker has so much gold that you think he has the basically turns the advantage in the favor of the Germans?
If they continue playing the way they are, taking these team fights and getting the better of these trades, because they're losing minimal heroes, they're losing the Venge or the Enigma, and they're taking out big heroes which need these levels on the enemy side, like the Shadow Shaman, the Storm. The Chaos Knight has been ganked quite a few times as well. He's got very limited farm on himself. He's got treads and
top lane disruption out on Enigma. He's going to drop most certainly. He's surrounded by almost the entire 4C squad. Actually, it is the entire 4C squad. No, it's actually Chaos Knight on the bottom lane. Sorry, man. Just had to catch that one.
Yeah, but the spread of the gold is going in the way of the Radiant.
Oh, Alex, even Invoker force-staffing his fellow Vengeful Spirit in the hopes that she will get into swap range. To no avail at the moment though. We'll see if the tier 1 top for the Radiant is going to drop. Nice Shackle Shot flies out. Support TP falls up immediately. We'll see if they can make anything happen here. But Storm jumps himself away. But leaving Rasta here in harm's way. Leaf is there. Sunstrike gonna kill him. Very nicely done. And offensive jump from Storm. He still has 300 mana left, so he will jump himself out. And Enchantress is also here. 2 against 2 now right here. Slow up on Storm Spirit. Leaf takes a bunch of damage. Gets disabled as well. Shackle Shot goes out. Will he be able to survive though? He has his ultimate up as well. But Fade time might be too long. One more attack. Doesn't get it in time. Then Peter's going to get the last hit. 1-for-1 exchange here on the top lane. And now all of the German boys are here. Going to chase after Enchantress. They might die of this. The heal is very powerful though. Stun is ready from...
heal.
Yeah. Destroy them. All those trees. Make sure that you can dive properly. And Invoker is here with the DPS.
Invoker picking up a Perseverance there. I'm not sure what he's going for. Possibly Lincoln's. Worried about all these single target stuns and disables. The Chaos Knight stun obviously. Disruption. Vortex from Storm. and Hex and Shackle from the Shadow Shaman, but I'm not sure Lincoln's would be a great idea over BKB here.
Hmm. Yeah, Lincoln's is the only thing that comes to mind for me as well. Perhaps like a Bloodstone or something crazy like that, but at least, not at least, but most certainly, Roman here changing things up with the Invoker builds that are usually seen. I guess another person that shakes up Invoker builds or traditional Invoker builds would be Dendi. He goes for Blink Dagger as well as Force Staff on his Quas Exort Invoker, and that's something really crazy. Quite the event when that happens. Spectating him on a good day on a Quas Exort Invoker with Blink and Force Staff is just an insane sight. But Chaos Knight actually managed to push down a tier 1 tower on the bottom lane all by himself, pick up an urn as well as power treads now on top, and that Drum of Endurance actually it's called. So he will be dishing out a lot of damage in team fights. Let's see what else is happening. Windrunner might also go for a Force Staff by the looks of it, and Invoker will indeed go for that Lincoln Spheres. He just picked up an Ultimate Orb on top of that Perseverance. And on the Dire side, what do we have? We have Rasta also going for Force Staff. Force Staff's coming out everywhere, and Robe with the Magi and Oblivion Staff. So apparently we have an Orchid being attempted by Storm Spirit against all these heroes on the Radiant side. We'll see just quickly the farm of Leaf. 50 last hits, 0 denies at 17 minutes in, so he could be doing better. Sunstrike now, 3 support TPs coming to the tier 2 bottom. Alex, man, you are so dead. Actually, they make sure that they get the Chaos Knight first, though, so that is at least one thing going their way. Losing Eventual Spirit is sad, but it is okay, especially if you get a kill on a Chaos Knight, and those 3 support TPs is 3 times 135 gold used, and they only got 1 kill out of that and lost Chaos Knight. So definitely nothing that 4FC can be happy about. And now the score is evened up to 21-21 at 18 minutes in. So this game is actually quite action-packed. If we just look at the warding here quickly, it's actually the Dire with 2 wards up, 1 here at the Roshan Pit and bottom rune, 1 offensively here on the top lane. It's going to be expiring soon, though. Actually, I'm sorry, it's actually 2 wards for either team, 1 top rune for Radiant and 1 in the middle, giving some sight of the high ground for the Radiant.
Yeah, sorry, I've just been told that I'm very quiet on the stream, so I've just turned myself up a little bit. Skype deciding that my volume settings mean nothing, and Mirana there getting absolutely destroyed by a 4-second Chaos Knight stun and Storm jumping on top of him.
Yeah, Storm now has an Aegis. As I was checking the warding, they were actually attempting Roshan, and I didn't catch that, so my apologies. Enigma will pick up Ogre Club as well as Mithril Hammer, 1300 gold, and he will have that BKB. He didn't go for a mech or anything. He will just go for that magic immunity to be able to just go in there like a Panzer, like a tank, and go magic immune himself up and then drop that black hole.
Yeah, seeing as Windrunner already picked up that mech is a great idea for him. Not wanting to rush that dagger, he does need to be able to stay in these fights and push down towers. But does Storm have his Orchid yet? Yes, he does. Just picked up his Orchid, so he's going to be looking to jump on heroes and take them down in the space of a couple of seconds.
And Lincoln Sphere now up on Invoker. He just want to make sure that he can just stay in those team fights and maybe dish out more spells, more DPS for a longer period of time to just contribute more for his team. And Leaf on that Mirana will also be able to dish out a bunch of damage now, just working his way toward that Yasha. He hasn't had the best farm of his life because he's been involved in too many little skirmishes on that bottom lane. So that is one thing that happened as a result of that very offensive jungling Enchantress and all the resources that 4FC have actually invested into that bottom lane. The top laning hero is actually Storm Spirit, and he has that Aegis on top of that Orchid. So he has been doing very well for himself, and actually 2 wards up in the enemy forest. Now Shadow Demon gets cold snapped up, though, has to disrupt himself and dodges the arrow and the power shot. But here comes the Sunstrike. Very nicely done. He does go down nonetheless, though. And ultimate up on Leaf as well. They are not quite done just yet. They want to find something else, but they won't. They want to force some big team fights now, and they just have to be happy with getting that Shadow Demon. The score, again, even up 22-22. The gold graph is in favor of the Radiant now by a relatively significant amount, 2.5k. You know, 500 gold per hero, that's what it would divide down to. So it's still a very, very even game, and it's very hard to say who has the upper hand at the moment. They have Chaos Knight as well as that highly mobile Storm Spirit. It will come down to the team fights and to the individual's performance of those players within those team fights.
Well, not to mention luck. This Chaos Knight, a very luck-based hero. If he gets 4-second stuns in these team fights regularly, and if he gets these reality rifts to jump where he needs them to, and if he lands those crits when he wants them, then definitely that would turn the tide of the battle for do you die a favour. But obviously, oh, Sunstrike there just scouting out, taking out half the health of that Shadow Demon. Wow.
100 gold right there, man, for that salve. And now Chaos Knight has to be careful. We have a rotation happening from an invisible Mirana now. But it's nighttime. Vision is not large enough. He didn't spot him. You get to live another day, but don't show yourself now in that top lane farming those creeps. There we go. Leaf now spots out that Chaos Knight. Will Windrunner as well as Mirana be up for the challenge? Yes, they are. Pass. Moving in. Leaf keeping vision on him. Misses with the arrow, though. This might just save his life. And killing Stone up on Stormspirit. Get a kill on Vengeful Spirit here on the middle lane Radiant side.
Yeah, trying to pick up easy kills here. Obviously, Chaos Knight getting away there. The arrow misplaced. Leaf obviously expecting him to further travel east to the safer route. But the Chaos Knight looking to take the most direct route down to the middle lane to help out his teammates.
80% slow up on that level ice wall now. Wards drop. This is level 2 wards, so they're dishing out a good amount of damage. 4-step out from RMN, but he does eat that nuke. Ultimate now used from Chaos Knight. Shackle on an illusion as well as that Stormspirit. Are they going to initiate now? RMN is here. He eats a lot of damage, gets disabled as well, but Chaos Knight also taking a bunch of damage. This fight's all over the place. Defensive disruption as well, or offensive rather. The Stormspirit has to be careful. No hero's dead just yet. Now comes the Mirana ultimate. They are looking for some easy kills. Now down goes Shadow Demon. First casualty of this little skirmish. Chase happening. Malefice now up on Rasta. Sunstrike hits, takes him down to almost down to no HP. Enigma gets the last hit, and that power shot also flew right through his dead body there.
Yeah, like you said, a little bit messy there. I'm not sure why 4FC were deciding to fight under the tower, especially against Enigma, Invoker, Windrunner, Mirana, all people who can disable you, nuke you down, nuke your creep wave down. Did they throw down the wards to try and push it down? Took it down to a third of its hit points. But with a team lineup like this, Diehand, split pushing would be much easier for them to do.
It appears as though they were also not really sure what they wanted to do, because they did have Stormspirit with that Aegis, so he could have definitely just been more aggressive. Maybe he should have dropped if they really want to go for that tower. Even 2 ultimates used for that. Arrow now flies. Enchantress dodges it though. He could have just let his life and then come back with full HP and full mana, and they might have forced that. But here we go, 4-second stun again. There's that luck factor we were talking about. Big pull on that Enigma. He's going to drop before the team fight starts, but a nice defensive swap, and BKB used immediately. Auto attack will get the kill though, so maybe a little bit of a waste for Enigma here. 2 heroes dead from 4FC. Age is going to bring back Stormspirit in a second though. Stun flies out, and Lincoln's procs Chaos Knight chasing after Windrunner. She's so low. Jump actually gets that last hit. Let's see what's happening in the middle lane here. Tornado flies out, disables 2 heroes, and a lag.
Massive lag. Oh, Storm Spirit in the middle of a jump there, going to land right on Venger's face. But I don't know if that jump on Windrunner was entirely necessary. The Un would have ticked her over and finished that kill.
Oh shit, do you have that connection problem thing here?
Yes,
Auto disconnect?
yes I do.
Are the servers down now?
There's pings. No, it's working.
Resuming, okay, okay. Good. Storm Spirit.
In the middle of a ruffle.
Yeah. Alex, I don't think he's going to hit Enchantress directly, so she will avoid a bunch of damage here unless she turns around. She has an urn as well. She should heal up here shortly. 4 charges up on that. Only boots as well as smoke. Unpause now happening. And the smoke use dispelled immediately though. 4FC Alex on that Storm Spirit doesn't have any mana left, but here's also Shadow Shaman. He has a 4-staff in 1 second is ready. Are they going to dive this? He jumps one more time, man. Actually, Shadow Shaman turned around there, but his buddies were following him. He could have 4-staffed himself and then disabled. Sunstrike! Oh, 1 more tower hit, 2 more tower hits, and actually Chaos Knight survives this. So 3 heroes dead now for uebelst.
Yeah. They took down the tier 2 tower at mid.
They did. Now the Swedish boys want to get some tower gold of themselves. That, what do you think? Were those roster awards wasted or necessary?
With an Invoker there with almost max exalt, definitely necessary, I say, just to ensure that he doesn't deny it. But he does pick up a lot of gold there from farming them.
Ultimate Orb now up again on Invoker. What is he going to go for next? Is it going to be like a sheep stick? Most likely, hey?
Most likely. I mean, Skadi is entirely possible, but they'll be looking to hex this Storm. They're getting a bit annoyed with him jumping on people now, and the Chaos Knight as well, obviously, with his luck factor. They don't want him unleashing his stuns and blinking on people. So the hex definitely going to be a good choice to pick up there and disable someone before they can make any moves on them.
Absolutely. Leaf now has The Yasha ready. 1.6k, so he's still quite a ways, like 1k gold away from that Manta style. And Enigma in that last team fight, he was basically dead, but he still decided to use that BKB, and that was a very questionable choice actually. It didn't do him any good, and now he lost 1 second. It's still on 9 seconds now, if I reckon. Yeah, if I remember correctly, yes it is. Initiation on Chaos Knight, gets shackled, gets stunned, chain stun with that arrow, and the arrow indeed gets the last hit. Leaf gets the kill on Chaos Knight, leaping him a big way toward his item. So he does have the ultimate orb now, and 450 gold more. He will have enough gold to complete up that Manta style, and that will add some very, very good and much needed additional DPS for that Mirana, and I think more importantly the ability to escape certain skills, bar for example Shackle or Disruption, and also to get some confusion going in teamfights. Middle lane tier 3 being pressured by Storm Spirit all by himself. He knows that all of the Germans are on the top lane taking that tier 2. Defensive TP should come out right now. Yeah. And that was nice work from the Germans, just deciding to take that tower before they go to defend. Now TP is coming out in toward the bottom lane as well. Shadow Demon making sure that he does some very good support work though, placing a nice ward, giving a big vision of this area right here. Now the tier 2 bottom lane might get pressured, but no, they actually decide to back out. 4 staff up on Shadow Demon. Mana Boots only up, as well as a Bracer on Shadow Demon. He might go for another set of drums, and this Enigma might work toward, what would you say, Blink Dagger would be good for him now.
From what I've seen, 4FC have split themselves quite well. They sort of split into 3 and 2, so the most he's going to get is a 3-man black hole. But it's hard to say. It depends whether he wants to go into a hard pushing lineup and buy some travels possibly, or arcanes to help him push out and teleport back to defend, or teleport onto teammates bottom lane.
Initiation on pass, gets sheeped, gets shackled, and that keeps the visibility up on him, even using the ultimate from Shadow Demon on top of those wards. And they might very much need it though, because he has a mech, and the nuke just getting enough damage for the kill. Man, pass, nice play, but not quite enough. And now both of them TP out wisely, so they do get out scot-free with that 1 kill. And now taking the lead, 27 to 26 in favor of the Swedish team 4FC, going up against uebelst Gaming, a German team in the defense here. And even though they are relatively unknown teams, they are still performing performing some very high-level play here at the moment. EXP as well as gold in the favor of the Radiant side, and Mirana now picked up that Manta style. And I'm not sure if there's any... Yes, actually, another item worth mentioning would be that BKB up on Storm Spirit now. So he can jump in there, turn on that BKB, silence another hero, and then just get to work. The Roshan timer is not showing up for me. Is it showing up for you?
No, it isn't. Interesting. That must have bugged out during the lag. Lots of weird bugs happen when there's a desync or a lag spike like that, so it appears.
Yes, Bermuda Triangle here on the Radiant Forest. Those 3 wards here. Just caring about this general area, it's basically sending us as broadcasters a signal that they do want to get rid of that tier 2 bottom tower relatively soon. But as you pointed out, Durka, the Radiant side have a very, very good lineup when it comes to defending towers, when it comes to defending a high ground even. They have Invoker, one of the strongest turtling heroes. They have Mirana with that invisibility. She can just set up immense black holes. And they have to have some wards around here. Arrow hits on Shadow Shaman on the bottom lane, and the Sunstrike follows, just showing the good coordination of the German squad, and the auto attack will be enough damage. And good kill on Shadow Shaman, evening out the score here in the defense first game. Jump in though from Storm Spirit. Here he is, silence up on Leaf as well. He looks to be in big trouble. Will he be able to get enough damage? Nice defensive swap though, and this will be the end maybe for Storm Spirit, because he's completely out of mana. Chase happening, and enough damage. There it is. Vengeful Spirit gets the last, and nice disruption, but here's 3 heroes now waiting on him to come back out of it. Eating 3 nukes at the same time, goes down. Leaf now actually turning around a situation where he looks in big trouble, around for 2 kills for the German squad.
We're team! Chaos Knight sitting on top lane and farming his heart out, Enchantress in the forest.
Yeah.
Storm was looking over the Roshan pit, waiting to see if that had come up yet. Shadow Shaman gets taken out on his own. Then Shadow Demon gets taken out on his own. Storm Spirit gets taken out on his own. 1 by 1.
Good point, man. Totally. We'll see if... Yeah, Chaos Knight a little bit hesitant. Turned back a little bit. Now runs in toward the tower. Maybe one of his teams is like, what are you doing, man? Go, go, go. Take that tower down. And he goes. Because now we can also see the Germans pressuring the middle high ground now. Oh, man. Double damage. On top of that alacrity. Look at the tower just dropping so much. Swap in from Alex. Fight's happening. BKB on Rasta used, but he drops to the auto attack. Alex on Vengeful Spirit also eating a 2-second stun, but here's a Black Hole catching 2 heroes. Sunstrike also drops. Enchantress taking a lot of damage. He drops himself. Disruption. Shadow Demon has to use that on himself. Now he comes back out. Looks to be in big trouble, but actually it will be Chaos Knight dropping first. There he goes. Shadow Demon also forced double kill now on Mirana. They are attempting this high ground with success thus far. Enchantress is there throwing out Impedus after Impedus, trying to get some work down. Here comes BKB Storm Spirit. He apparently bought back. And look at his damage. He's eating so much damage, down to less than half HP. And now a triple kill up on Mirana, who backs out, turns around, still has that Aegis up, so she will turn around to get those racks.
That double damage on Mirana just absolutely won that fight for them. So much right-click power potential there coming out of her.
It absolutely did.
Low hit point all heroes.
Did Stormspirit buy back?
I'm not sure.
Oh.
Didn't have an Aegis, didn't he? Oh no, that was on Mirana.
Big jump, and the Germans don't stop. Uebelst now moving their way toward the top barracks. Tier 3 tower gonna take a fall. There it goes. Last it goes to Windrunner. Barracks being pressured. 4FC, the Swedish boys, down 2 heroes. Will they be able to defend at least? Yeah, here we go. 4 staff into a beautiful sheep. And also Storm Spirit is here. Forces the Aegis out from Mirana, but drops himself. So here we go. The Swedish boys trying their best to defend this. Ghostwalk used from Invoker. BKB up on Chaos Knight. He used it to his fullest effect. Now goes up and kills Enigma actually. Pass on big trouble. Has to use his Windrunner to get out. Roman not so lucky. He does have the Ghostwalk though. Only yes, there's a Sentry Ward. 3-second stun. He will most definitely drop, but his Shackle Shot might have saved his life here. And the Lincoln Sphere also very nice. That's what he bought this for. The Cold Wall also slowing him up, and another 4-second stun. You cannot get away from this Invoker. Just too much luck on this Chaos Knight. And now Paz used himself some Fog to TP out safely, but they definitely got the better end of the stick in this exchange. They got a melee barracks on top, and they got both sets in the middle.
Yeah, 3 racks down, not looking too good for 4FC. I mean, it's still possible for them to win, but they do have to get this Chaos Knight pretty big to try and contend with this Mirana, who's dealing out massive amounts of DPS, as well as obviously the Invoker, who has that Exalt on max, and Alacrity on him really, really does hurt this dire side.
Absolutely, and the Germans have just been showing some very nice teamfight execution here, just basically seizing the opportunity there of having their basically main or at least secondary damage dealer, depending on who does more, Mirana or Invoker, but at least Mirana did get that double damage rune, seizing the moment, seizing the opportunity, going up toward the high ground in the middle lane, Alacrity up on that hero as well, and just dropping heroes, dropping buildings, and getting themselves racks, and 1.5 sets of racks basically, and the half that they got on the top is actually the more important one as well, as that was the melee barracks that dropped. Let me do a quick item check here because after racks do fall, we have a few minutes of just reorganization of both teams. Blink now up on Enigma. He might have had that in the beginning of the fight as well. Windrunner, 4 staff, Mech, gonna go for a Sheepstick now. Sheepstick already completed by Invoker on top of that 4 staff, and also a Blink on Invoker, so he's actually taking out a page of the playbook of Dendy, but adding the Lincoln Sphere rule to it, and an Eagle Song on Mirana, and the support Vengeful Spirit just has some treads, drums, as well as urns. So for a support hero, she's actually kind of rich. And on the 4FC side, we have a BKB up on Rasta as well as that 4 staff. Treads, and not much else on Enchantress. She's on her way to an Aghanim Scepter, but still quite a ways away. Let's see how much gold exactly. 900 gold, so not that far away. And Storm Spirit hasn't gotten any new items after that, what's it called, Orchid and the BKB. BKB also 1 item up for Chaos Knight, and Shadow Demon is relatively poor, just has Arcane Boots. Arrow goes fishing, not going to find anything. Also gives them some vision, so they can feel safe as they push down this tier 2 tower. All outer towers now gone for the dire side. 1 outer tower, the tier 2 bottom, still standing for the Germans. And now Sheepstick also picked up by Windrunner. Oh, look at this now. This is what I was talking about. Here comes the ultimate from Leaf. Will they be able to get some good initiation happening? No true sight for 4FC. Here we go. Here they are. Sheepstick used. Manta Style used. Black Hole used. 2 heroes drop immediately for 4FC. And buyback comes out. But this might very well be the game. Wards drop. Here's Krilly on that Chaos Knight trying to dish out as much damage as he can. Triple kill now on Windrunner. 3 heroes dead for 4FC. And the fight is still going on. Now, if Chaos Knight drops, this will spell the end. 4 heroes dead. Shadow Demon did buy back. But there's not much that he can do about this.
I would bet good money the Shadow Demon was on his way to plant a Sentry Ward. Yeah, he had 2 Sentry Wards on him. He was heading towards that mid lane. Very, very likely he's going to plant one down on the top of the ridge, on the top of the ramp there, just to, expect this kind of thing to happen. But 2 seconds too late, I'm afraid.
GG comes out and the Germans win their game against 4FC in the defense, and just very well played, good game overall. Unfortunately, Toby's not here to cast that game, so Durka and myself, Epi, did this for you guys. Thank you all very much for tuning in. There's another game for the defense coming up really shortly, so I'll keep you guys updated on that one, and let's wait for this endgame screen here, maybe a little bit of endgame analysis. Durka, my man, what do you think about this game, and how did both teams play? What could they have done better to improve their performance?
Well, obviously, 4FC, quite a new team, showing that they can play up against some big names, such as these German guys who've been in the competitive scene for a long, long time. But uebelst obviously showing that their cohesion and team play and communication is just miles above this 4FC side. A few moments of hesitation obviously cost them the game when they dived past that tier 1 at mid, tier 2 at mid, and a couple of other situations where if they had made snap decisions, such as the Storm using his ulti to go backwards instead of forwards, he could have picked up a double kill if he went forwards. Just little confidence mistakes like that cost him the game.
Absolutely. I think I would agree with you, man. I think that one of the deciding factors of this game was definitely experience, just showing the German boys, showing that they've been playing together for a while, they know the game inside out, and just like those clutch decisions in the heat of the moment is what separates good teams from the actual pro teams, and both of those show lots of potential, and in this game actually it's the Germans that take the win, and it's been a very, very entertaining game to watch. And yeah, that will be the end of this. Don't go anywhere, guys, though, because the next game is coming up soon here. Yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you, Durka, and we'll get right on it.